If football were a movie, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are the two lead actors, and everyone else supporting cast. For over a decade, they've turned the sport into a duopoly so dominant, even Thanos would have been jealous. And yet, at some point around 2018, a new contender emerged. A man from Nagrig, a small village in Egypt with no paved roads and only one TV, and even that barely worked when it rained. Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king, went from Chelsea reject to Liverpool's greatest Premier League era player. But here's the uncomfortable truth. As great as Salah has been, he never really broke into the Messi-Ronaldo tier. And that's not because he didn't try, he absolutely did, but because football's throne room has rules no one tells you about. So today, let's talk about why Mohamed Salah failed to reach Messi and Ronaldo's level. Let's start in 2017. Salah had just arrived at Liverpool from Roma for £36.9 million. At the time, it looked like another decent winger signing from Klopp. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected what was coming next. By the end of his first season, he'd scored 44 goals in all competitions, breaking the Premier League record with 32 in 38 games. That's more than Ronaldo ever managed in a single English season. He also won the PFA Player of the Year, the FWA Player of the Year, and the Golden Boot, all in the same season. For a player who'd been written off by Jose Mourinho at Chelsea as not ready, this was a cinematic comeback arc worthy of a Hollywood script. And to top it off, he carried Egypt to their first World Cup since 1990. For context, the last time Egypt played at a World Cup before that, the Soviet Union still existed. But here's where the comparison trap began. When you explode onto the scene like that, the world instantly wants to know, can you do it every year? And that's where Messi and Ronaldo have always broken people's spirits. Between 2008 and 2018, Messi and Ronaldo never scored fewer than 40 goals a season. Ronaldo once scored 61. Messi hit 73. That's not a purple patch, that's sustained insanity. Salah had one godlike year, but they built a career off godlike decades. Now, let's be fair. Football isn't tennis, nobody wins alone. And Salah played for a club with a completely different structure to Barcelona or Real Madrid. At Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp's system demanded relentless pressing, defensive tracking, and shared attacking duties. It was never designed to make one player the absolute center of gravity. Messi had that. Ronaldo had that. Salah didn't. Think about it. Messi was surrounded by Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, a team built for him to shine. Ronaldo, he had Benzema, Modric, Kroos, all geared towards feeding his numbers. Salah had Firmino, who literally sacrificed his own goals to make the system work, and Sadio Mane, who was, let's be honest, almost just as good for a few seasons. Liverpool's attack was a three-headed dragon, not a one-man empire. It made him devastating as a team, but it diluted Salah's individual dominance. Another hidden factor: penalties. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored over 150 penalties in his career. Messi, over 100. Salah didn't even take all of Liverpool's spot kicks until 2018. Over a decade, that's a difference of about 80 to 100 easy goals, enough to shift how people perceive your greatness. And speaking of perception, it matters a lot. Ronaldo had Madrid's global spotlight. Messi had Barcelona's dynasty. Salah had Anfield's roar, but Liverpool, commercially, was nowhere near that global marketing machine scale. Even when Salah broke records, Real Madrid fans were watching Bale's bicycle kick in a Champions League final, and Salah was watching from the sidelines with a dislocated shoulder thanks to Sergio Ramos' WWE audition. Here's where things get interesting. Because greatness in football isn't just about numbers or trophies, it's also about narratives. Messi versus Ronaldo worked because it was mythology. Art versus power, talent versus obsession. Salah never had that rivalry dance partner. In 2018, if he'd beaten Real Madrid and led Egypt out of their World Cup group, the story might have changed. But fate had other plans. Egypt lost all 3 group games. Salah scored twice, sure, but with the country's federation caught up in politics and poor management, he basically played while the entire national setup was in chaos. Meanwhile, Messi and Ronaldo were still doing Ballon d'Or laps. Salah, he finished 6th that year, behind Modric, Ronaldo, and even Antoine Griezmann. And as Liverpool evolved, Salah became too reliable to feel spectacular anymore. He was consistent, 20-plus goals every year for 7 straight seasons, but people stopped being amazed. It's the LeBron effect. When someone's great every season, it stops feeling special. Add to that Liverpool's financial limits. Barcelona and Real Madrid could sign whoever Messi or Ronaldo wanted. Liverpool couldn't even renew contracts without drama. Salah's contract saga in 2022 dragged on for months, and when he finally signed, it was framed less as loyalty and more like Liverpool couldn't afford to lose him. That difference in how the story is told matters. But let's not kid ourselves, Salah didn't fail. He just played a different game. He's the Premier League's highest-scoring African player in history, the fastest to 150 Liverpool goals, and one of only 4 players ever to win 3 Premier League Golden Boots. He also broke Didier Drogba's Champions League goal record for an African player, and did it while fasting during Ramadan. And when Messi and Ronaldo were fading from Europe, Salah was still dragging Liverpool to a Champions League final in 2022. He even publicly said he wanted revenge on Real Madrid, and still turned up with another 30-goal season after that loss. The guy's work ethic is absurd. Teammates have said he barely takes vacations. When Klopp gave the squad a week off after a title race, Salah went to the gym every day. So no, Salah didn't reach Messi and Ronaldo's level, because almost nobody ever will. But if we're being honest, he might have reached the highest level possible for a player outside that duopoly. Messi and Ronaldo are once in a generation. Salah, he's once in a nation. And that might be an even rarer story. At the end of the day, football isn't just about how high you climb, it's about how far you came. Messi was born into La Masia. Ronaldo was groomed at Sporting and Manchester United. Salah grew up watching Champions League finals on a flickering TV in a farming village. And then one day, he played in one. So, while he didn't dethrone the kings of football, he proved that even from the edge of the Nile, you can still touch the sky, and make billions sing your name.